So, good evening and welcome to this practice at the slightly later time of 8:30. We left it till 8:30 because the Queen was doing a very important speech to us all. So, yeah, do apologise if it kind of messed up people's routine and therefore meant they can't join us at 8:30. But as you know, these videos are available and they'll stay available. I've checked and I've been able to share them, even the very beginning ones 2 weeks ago, with other people. So that's really great. So yeah, just catch up whenever you need to. So just inviting you to arrive in this moment, arrive in with now, getting comfy. So just adjusting your seat if you feel like you need to, sitting in a posture that's best for you. So some people may find that they're absolutely exhausted with things that are going on at the moment, the way life is. So if it's beneficial, if it makes you feel good or better, at ease, to lay on the flat of the floor, then absolutely do that. Lay down for the practice. In bed, on rugs, just comfort actually. Comfort is of great importance, especially at this time. So just arriving into however you've chosen to be for the practice. And I'd asked to let me know how kind of things were going, because this isn't the usual way to teach. So normally I would teach face to face and I'd be able to kind of get feedback from people, and we do what's called inquiry, so asking how things were in the practice. And of course we don't get the opportunity when we're doing it like this. So somebody had written me an email and said that they feel quite sleepy during the practice, and actually sleep is the best form of meditation. So if you're falling asleep, then that's absolutely fine. However, if you don't want to fall asleep and you want to really train the attention in a certain way, then inviting you to really sit up for the practice. So you can sit on a chair, a straight back chair, or like I am, so I'm just knelt on a beanie like meditation cushion. So you can feel awake and alive as you practice. There's no right or wrong way. It all is about really listening to what you need, what's best for you. And actually, if sleep and relaxation and dozing off is what you're really craving and what you need, then by all means just allow yourself to drift in and out of sleep. However, if you really want to stay awake for the practice, then you can even practice with your eyes open. That's fine. Just keep your gaze lowered, as long as we're just kind of within our own little space. Then, and it's what works best for you. How is it you want to be? What do I need? So there's quite a bit of blurb that I've attached to tonight's live practice, so you can read a little bit more on actually what mindfulness is. So these very short practices I'm offering through this crisis period are more like a life belt, if you like. They're more like responding to what's needed at the moment. But usually we would practice for 2 hours per session over an 8-week course, and then there'd be a long meditation practice each evening encouraged within the 8-week course. So what we're doing is just droplets of mindfulness-based stress reduction. All of it is helpful. Even 2 droplets of mindfulness a day is really helpful and supportive. So please don't underestimate, don't underestimate giving yourselves this 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, because any practice, any mindfulness practice can be of great benefit. So the other thing that's kind of come to mind and in response to a question is about how when we sit very still it's easier to pay attention and to keep attention with the movement of the breath. Now there's a couple of things around this. One thing is the virus itself obviously is causing respiratory problems, and for some people coming to the breath can be quite uncomfortable anyway, so if you're feeling anxious and your breath's a bit quicker. So the encouragement with the practices we're doing each night is if it's comfortable and feels safe enough for you to bring your attention to your breath, then please do. The breath can be really kind of used, if you like, to soothe and soothe your own system, like a self-soothing system. But equally, if the breath isn't comfortable for you to come to, then if you're now sitting or laying, just coming to bringing your attention to the place where your feet are in contact with the ground, or the seat, so your feet or seat, you can bring your attention to there. Rather than worrying too much about where to place the attention, knowing that your attention is in one place and then wanders off and then comes back, so you can use your body, so your feet or seat. You can use the breath as a focus, so these are anchors to the present moment. You can use sound. Obviously there's not much sound at this time of night, but if you were to pause and do one of these practices during the day, you might get to be able to bring your awareness to the bird song. And then you notice that your mind has wandered off and you're wrapped up in the thoughts around everything else, and you come back to the bird song. And that's training the attention, just the same as when we're bringing our attention to the breath. The same as when we are going to be walking, moving, washing dishes, you can bring your awareness to any of those things. And once you realise that the attention has wandered off to getting wrapped up and caught up in the thoughts again, that's a pure moment of mindfulness, a moment of awareness. The mind has wandered off, the attention has wandered off. Come back to feet contacting the floor as you walk. Come back to digging up the weeds. Come back to the smell or the taste of the coffee. And that's mindfulness in itself. So this is so forgiving. It's such a forgiving practice. You can really approach it with a sense of loving kindness for yourself and doing the right thing for yourselves. So having said all that, there's a little bit more on that on the blurb, and anything which arises from doing the practices each evening, then please do get in touch. Drop me a comment on here on Facebook in the comments bit, or email me, or whatever. If there's something that's arising, it's really great to know a little bit more about it, so you're not kind of sitting, I don't know, Scotland or wherever somebody might be and wondering. You don't need to wonder at all. So let's just begin again as we did, going into our third week now. So let's begin again, but dropping into this moment, this brand new present moment. Really inviting you to take your seat and just reminding yourself of your intention. What's your intention to bring you here to sit and have this practice of mindfulness together? So it could be that you find it easeful. It could be that you find it helpful to bring that busy mind that's spiralling all over the place to something more supportive, like the anchor of the breath or body. For whatever reason you arrived here tonight at 8:30, just really understanding that's my intention. My intention is to be here for this reason. And remembering there's no right way, no wrong way, no failure. Mindfulness is the awareness which emerges when we pay particular attention to things exactly as they are in the present moment. Those great words by Jon Kabat-Zinn. So dropping in on this present moment and being really curious and friendly with how things are as you arrive. So in this time of great emotional turbulence, just allowing yourself to come to a sense of stability. So the feet in contact with the ground. Really tuning in your attention to the feet in contact with the ground. The pressure points, any sensations, sense of the temperature, coolness, heat, any contact if you've got slippers on or bare feet or socks. What's the quality of the contact? Just as best as you can, imagine you were shining a torchlight down to the feet. How are these feet tonight? Perhaps you have been walking or gardening or whatever you've been doing, just really bringing your attention down to your feet. And then scanning up from the feet to the lower legs, the knees. How are these knees doing tonight? Right now in this moment. What's here to be noticed? Scanning up the tops of the legs, the thighs, the hips, and the place where the body is in contact with the chair. And really sensing as best as you can a sense of the weight dropping downwards. And then scanning up through the torso and the height of the body going upwards. Growing slightly taller in the spine. The shoulders, just tuning in with the shoulders as the attention arrives here. Is there any tightness or tension, fatigue? And just allowing the arms to be placed either down by your sides or on your thighs, or even clasped together, whatever's best. And the head balanced on top. Crown of the head, the highest point, and just maybe tucking the chin in ever so slightly, just to protect the back of the neck. So we may have sat like this now for many nights, but this moment, just this moment, checking in how it is right now. Not how it was maybe compared to 2 weeks ago or how it might be in 2 weeks, but just now. Bringing a friendly awareness to the present moment and the body sitting here or laying. And then inviting you to take a few deep, luscious, nourishing breaths in and out. And inviting you on the out breath to let go and to soften the body if there's any tension being held in the body. As best as you can, taking these deep breaths in and releasing on the out breath. Letting go on the out breath. Allow allowing the body to sink even deeper, if possible, deeper into the surface on which you're resting. And now just coming to either a focus with the breath or the focus of your feet or seat in contact with the ground and the chair. What's best for you? And if the mind wanders off, that's absolutely fine. We're not here at all to try to clear the mind. In fact, the very act of trying to clear the mind will only add to despair. We're simply becoming familiar with our thoughts. Some thoughts that just come and go. Some thoughts that stick around. So we're just simply noticing if the mind has wandered off. Where's the mind wandered off to? And then escorting it back to a sense of the breath or the body. Wherever you're going to choose your anchor to the present moment. So, inviting you to bring awareness to the breath, either at the nostrils or in the rising and falling with the chest, with each in-breath and each out-breath. And if it helps, you can even just place a hand across the chest around the heart region. Really feeling that sense of warm contact between the hand and the chest. Just sensing this contact, bringing your awareness to the rising and falling of the chest with each in-breath and each out-breath. If you're familiar with your anchor point, then just allowing yourself to start to really bring awareness to this anchor point of your choice, completely your choice. Or perhaps it could be deep down in the belly, so bringing your awareness to a sense of the physical sensations of the breath right down deep in the abdomen. And placing a hand over the abdomen if this helps, just to establish and to settle the attention with the breath. So really sensing into what's needed for you in this moment. Choosing this anchor point to bring the attention to. And then each time the mind wanders off, as it will, we escort the mind back to the place of our anchor. The feet, the seat, or the breath, sensations in any of the anchor points. If the mind is extremely busy, if you've been agitated, angry or stressed and it's still around and the mind is still in turbulence because of it, then you can always count. Counting the breath. So breathing in and counting for 3 perhaps. And counting on the out-breath. Or perhaps silently saying the words. Breathing in. Breathing out. This is a practice for you. This is your support. This is your time for refuge. Amidst the full catastrophe of life, just taking this time out, this pause, this time for you. So how best is it for you to bring the attention to focus on the present moment? Perhaps it could be in rising your hands up on the in-breath. And then allowing the hands to move downwards on the out-breath. Breathing in. breathing out as best as you can, bringing the attention to the full duration of the in-breath, the turning around of the in-breath where it becomes the out-breath. Breathing in, breathing out, and then just inviting you to perhaps play around with maybe one or two of the options with the breath. Noticing if you're getting really confused and irritated by which one's the best, which one's the best. Just simply know this of yourself. And then choose one anchor point to the present moment. And then stay with this. Stay with this for the breath, for this time together. Bringing this sense of kindliness and friendliness towards yourself. Sometimes we are very, very kind and gentle towards other people. Maybe sometimes not quite so kind and gentle to ourselves. So this is a time of kindliness to yourself. And one more way just to offer you, if it's difficult to bring the focus of your awareness, is to use a finger breathing exercise which is used by the Mindfulness in Schools project. So you can breathe in as the finger goes upwards and breathing out as it goes down. But rather than the fingers timing the breath, just allowing the in-breath and the out-breath to be the timing of the movement of the fingers. If the mind has wandered off, just perhaps being interested. Where has the mind wandered off to? Perhaps planning maybe TV or something to eat or drink. Something perhaps you should have done, you'd forgotten. Just escorting the attention back to the present moment. Your anchor to the present moment, either the breath or the body, over and over again. The mind wanders off, as minds will. Just bringing the mind back, bringing the attention back to this breath in this moment. Breathing in, breathing out. And by bringing the attention to a focus in this way, it's like training the muscle of mindfulness. So this 15 to 20 minutes is like the training session you do in the gym, perhaps. And then more and more as you go about your daily business. There may be moments where you notice that you were really caught up in some really destructive thinking, some thought patterns, and maybe be able to detach from those and come back to what you're doing in the present moment, such as breathing, walking, or whatever it is, bringing the awareness to the present moment, moment by moment. Coming back now to a sense of the breath, breathing, or the body in contact. letting go of any critical thoughts such as, I'm doing this wrong, I'm failing at meditation. Just letting go of those critical thoughts, those judgments, and just with friendliness and kindliness, coming back to the present moment. Simple breathing in and breathing out. Noticing if the mind has wandered off, if there's any kind of emotional charge in the body from the thought. Sometimes if you remember something that needs to be done, you can get a kind of fluttery tummy from that. So just noticing if there's anything in the body when the mind does wander off. It's absolutely fine. Bringing the attention back to the present moment. And allowing a soothing breathing rhythm to emerge if possible, if this feels right for you. The breath, soothing the body. Slowing down the heart rate, lowering the blood pressure. This nourishing breath. Breathing in the goodness and breathing out. Breathing in the goodness, letting go on the out breath. Bringing the attention back to a sense of the breath or the body. And now, when it feels right to do so, just expanding the awareness around a sense of the focus of the breath sensations, expanding out from the feet or the seat to a sense of the whole of the body sitting here. The whole of the body sitting here, breathing on the chair or the floor. Starting to bring some movement to the body, so wiggling the fingers and the toes, perhaps squeezing the shoulders up, opening the eyes very gently. So thank you very much indeed for joining this evening. We've run over a little bit because I just wanted to do the explanation just before, just to hopefully bring some clarity where there might be a little bit of confusion. So if there's anything that you're unsure of, like I've said many a time, I just can't say it enough, that this is just a one-way street at the moment. I'm sitting and I'm teaching and connecting with as many of you as possible. So if there's anything that emerges, arises during practice, or any questions that you think, oh, I really got to know that, then please get in touch. You're either really good friends, beautiful family, or friends of family, whatever. So get in touch and have a good rest of your night. Thank you again for being here. Stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Bye for now.